Chapter 2 Emergency Court 2019. I was walking my dog Razzle that morning around 10 o'clock. It was Friday, August 30th, 2019. Scarecrow and I had agreed to meet up Sunday, September 1st for the boys' return. I arrived home to find a car parked in front I didn't recognize.
Destiny?
A woman asked, approaching me. Yes? I asked, turning around. She was carrying a large manila envelope.
I'm a process server, and I'm sorry to inform you that you've been served.
She said, handing me an envelope. My ex-husband is such an ass, I verbalized inside. He has the children right now, so this is what he does? I rolled my eyes in disgust.
I understand. I'm sorry to be the one to hand you bad news. It's also my understanding that this contains a court order for today.
She said gently. Today? I asked, puzzled. How can he do that?
He can request an emergency hearing, yes.
She nodded in sympathy. Oh my God, I said, trying to process. I don't even have an attorney. I'm still new to this area.
I see. Well, please don't tell anyone. I serve multiple attorneys, but I know someone you can call.
Really? I would so appreciate that.
She's really good. Really good.
She ran back to her car and came back to me with a pen in hand. I handed her back the envelope and she jotted down a name and number. Thank you,
Good luck.
she said and left. I went inside, unleashed Razzle, and sat down at the kitchen table. I ripped open the manila envelope, sickened at the sheer weight of it. The first page addressed the emergency hearing and an order to show cause scheduled for that afternoon, 2:30 in Salem, on Market Street. I skimmed through the pages and my eyes landed on the word medical. In Tin Man's certification, he states, the defendant gives our children supplements, thus she does not believe in Western medicine. So our youngest, who is a type 1 diabetic, is in danger for his life. You've got to be kidding me, I mumbled. He went on to state that he wanted full and immediate custody of both children due to the neglect and abuse of the mother and the new stepfather. It stated the defendant had originally scheduled for the boys to visit in July, but she moved the dates to August so the bruises would heal. Seriously? I sat shaking my head at every sentence. I picked up my cell phone and dialed the number scrawled on the envelope. It was a fury of adrenaline-induced activity. Because I'd been down this road before and my intuition knew this legal insanity could come at any moment when dealing with a narcissist, I had a file on my computer already organized for this moment. I emailed it to my new attorney, Katie, and ran upstairs. I needed to find and consult my husband before sending her a financial retainer via Venmo. Thank goodness he was on board and went to get ready. My heart was racing as I picked out my outfit for court. While shaving my legs in the bathtub, I answered the phone. Katie had read my file and had some questions before strategizing. How is she supposed to digest 17 years of history, come up with a game plan in just a matter of hours? I was shaking, my voice was shaking, and my hand with the razor was shaking. While applying makeup, Jake came in.
Should I wear a tie?
Yes, and please tell Riley to wear something nice as well, I pleaded. When the three of us left for the courthouse, I was nauseous, my nerves overwhelmed with emotion. Jake turned to me.
You doing okay?
Not really, but I put my big girl panties on, I said, trying to smile. I took a deep breath and let it out. Thank you for getting ready so quickly. Your going to see my ex for who he really is. I looked out the window, seeing nothing, but picturing my babies. I just hoped the boys were okay.
You know Thor went down to Virginia and ran his mouth.
Tell me something I don't know, I sighed. I've spent his whole life trying to make sure he doesn't turn into his father. I shook my head.
Thor doesn't care about anyone but Thor.
Then he's just like Tin Man.
Is this all because we got married this year?
That had crossed my mind. Thank goodness we had money in savings. He nodded. I knew what he was thinking. There could have been so many other uses for that money. Nevertheless, we were able to pay Katie, and I was grateful. We parked behind the courthouse. I'd never been there before, so I wasn't exactly sure where to go. From the car, I saw Scarecrow walking fast around the building. Well, might as well follow her. I wonder where Tin Man is, I asked.
Likely he's already inside with the children.
You think he brought the boys? I asked, alarmed.
Yeah,
Well, maybe the judge will allow the boys to just stay here, and I won't have to travel down to Virginia to pick them up.
I wouldn't get your hopes up.
We took the same door Scarecrow went through, told the security guard what case we were here for, and was directed to the third floor. My attorney was not meeting me inside. She would be calling in virtually from the beach. I was eager to find my boys. Thorbjorn was 12 and Thaddeus was 9. I breathed easier when I found them. But they were on the bench together next to Timman. I walked over to them, ignoring him. Hey, babies, I said to Thaddeus and Thorbjorn, kissing each of them on the head.
Hi, Mommy.
Thaddeus said.
Hi, Mom.
Thor said, barely glancing up, his focus on his handheld electronics game. You guys doing okay?
Yeah.
Thaddeus answered. Thor nodded. I walked over to Jake and Riley standing near the courtroom doors. I assume they'll call us in, I asked.
Riley's not going to be allowed to come in. Kids have to be 18 years or older.
Oh, I said, turning to her. I'm so sorry, honey. I didn't know if the judge was going to ask you questions or not. At least you'll be out here with the boys, I said, trying to comfort her. I checked my phone while we waited and had received an email from Katie that she'd sent to Tin Man's attorney and the judge. It stated,
There is no emergency, and it is outrageous that the plaintiff, a family law attorney, tried to first use the legal system in Virginia to keep the children from returning to the custody of their mother, and now files this application in New Jersey just 2 days before the children are to be returned to their mother on September 1st. Apparently, DCPP is again going to be contacted, and if the division believed there is any emergency or harm to the children, they would have removed the same from my client's custody. Moreover, the children have been in their father's custody for his summer visitation since August 2nd, 2019. Filing this today is unfair. My client and I would like the opportunity to respond in writing to the pleadings, but the children need to be returned immediately. The plaintiff and his counsel obviously have had a lot of time to prepare the pleadings, and by filing the emergency application on a Friday before a holiday weekend, they have severely prejudiced my client. Many of the allegations are simply not true, and she deserves the opportunity to be heard. The party's son, Thorbjorn, has significant behavioral issues, and the crisis center was contacted by my client back on May 28, 2019. They have had ongoing therapy for Thor. He is scheduled for involvement with a new therapist on September 4th, the day before his first day of school. He needs to be returned to New Jersey.
Katie had written that quickly and completely grasped the situation at hand. Thank you, God. We were called in. I sat down at the defendant table on the left since Tin Man, Scarecrow, and their attorney were seated on the right. Jake sat behind me. I forced myself to breathe, to calm my nerves. It was such an uncomfortable energy in the courtroom, one of battling and strife. I can see why Tin Man liked it, liked being an attorney. You always needed someone to argue with. My attorney was simply put on the speakerphone. After all introductions were made, I laboriously listened to Tin Man's attorney, Kimberly Greenfield, explaining their concerns, feeling gut punched. Then my attorney explained our side through the speakerphone.
Folks, what are we doing here? There is clearly no evidence of abuse.
Judge Eslack stated. Relief flooded through me. Tin Man's attorney balked at this.
Judge, my client would like to advocate the scheduling of a litigation hearing so we can substantiate our allegations.
The judge agreed, and a second hearing was scheduled in 12 days for Tuesday, September 10th, 2019 at 10:30 a.m. Court lasted maybe 20 minutes. Unfortunately, the judge did not allow the boys to come home with us, and I still needed to travel to Virginia for our original meeting spot. In the hallway, I went straight to the boys.
Mom, are we going home now?
No, baby, I wish. The judge wants to keep with the agreement we originally had, so I will see you in a few days.
Okay.
He shrugged, being an easygoing kid.